As the demand for air transport increases, airports will also be required to rapidly evolve in the years to come. This is according to Mangodo Technology CEO Emine Zerrin Sakir, who says the biggest changes will be in terms of technological innovation and the passenger experience. Emine joins us for a conversation on the so-called airports of the future from Istanbul. Emine, appreciate your time. Now, how do you foresee biometrics, artificial intelligence and other technological innovations shaping that passenger experience at airports?
Thank you. Well, actually, as you have mentioned, the demands in the airports is increasing every year, like more than 4%. And the thing is, we need to increase the efficiency by means of resources, and we really need to give a good passenger experience. And the technology comes to the scene in that point, because by using technology, it is not possible that even without any human touch, the passengers can go through the airport to the digital kiosks, for example, and chat with the AI bots and ask for their gates, for example, and then go through the gate with the wayfinding applications. And that speeds up the process for the passengers. That's why it's very important. And then it's also very important that after the procedures are completed, they still need to have a good time at the airports. This became very important. So we have solutions where the passengers can really enjoy, for example, eating in restaurants by using our digital QR code menus, for example, ordering and just make payments, again, without the need for waiting for a waiter or so. So to sum up, we need to use the technology in the whole touch points so that passengers are really enjoying the time and having a good experiences in that very limited and stressful time.
Now, when we look at that increase in the number of travelers year in, year out at airports across the globe, it obviously makes sense to speed up those processes. Now, I'd imagine that in your conversation with any number of your clients or any number of passengers, there's certain elements that we want to be sped up when we're in the airports, but there's also the need for that human touch. I think that human interface is still important. Do you find that there's some areas where it's going to be critical to remain with the human touch, or do you foresee that across the entire experience, from the time that you get to the airport until you potentially board the aircraft, it can all be seamlessly facilitated by technology?
Of course, we create personas, first of all. There are these business travelers and frequent travelers who are very much aware of what's happening at the airport, and they really want automation. And they just, they know everything. They just want to have a good help if needed, but otherwise they want the automation. Then there are these other leisure travelers with who is going to the airports not that frequently. Of course, sometimes they have issues in dealing with technology, so human touch will always remain. But the goal here is to really increase the efficiency of the resources. So yes, of course, you can reach to a human being needed, but otherwise you can just go ahead. And a good example for this is the digital kiosks we have, for example, at the airport. There you go. First of all, you can find everything like wayfinding app, transportation information, and how I can go to my gate. Everything is there, so you can just find your way. If this is not enough, you can chat with an AI bot, and if it is still not enough, then you can connect to the operators, the human beings, through a video call and ask your question. So this is the experience, but it speeds up for the passengers, it speeds up the process, and for the airport operators, it increases the efficiency of the usage of the resources.
So let's take a look at security and the implications that it has on security, because airport security is absolutely critical to the safety of passengers and airlines alike. How is technology being used to ensure greater security?
Well, actually, from our point of view, because we are creating digital solutions, of course, we do have limitations. For example, if we would like to show something on the screens based on the demographics, we can't do face recognition or this kind of stuff. We can only do detection, face detection to find out the gender and this kind of stuff. But otherwise, considering security, it's very important because the thing is, if you, for example, help a passenger as a person, usually there is no recording of this. So there's a question, you answer the question, and that's it. But if you do the technology, if you use the technology which allows you to also store data, then you can always go back when there is an issue and go through this data and then find out what has happened. So it is very important that we integrate the technology in this sense as well for security issues.
Now, somewhere where you have technology that you're using is in restrooms and cleaning and obviously technical monitoring systems in maintaining cleanliness and addressing passenger concerns. Talk to us about how those services work.
Yeah, in this application, again, we have aimed that the passenger has a feeling that they can give feedback, but not only give a feedback like I'm happy, not happy, but also indicate the problem. So if they go to a restroom and find out that there's no toilet paper, they can say there's no toilet paper. And the best thing is, at the moment they say this, the related employee is informed by means of a push notification, and they immediately go there and then fix the issue. That's the same. It works also in the same way for the technical issues, like if something is broken. So the passenger has the feeling that, okay, my voice is heard, not only heard, but also it's fixed, and it's a very good feeling. And for the airport operators, this allows them, again, to use their resources correctly, so that, the employees are not just only going around, but they're in the right place, in the right restroom when it is needed. This is what we aimed with that app.
Well, you raise the issue of language, and I suppose it's a perfect time to ask about whether the AI or the methods that you're using of technology recognize multiple languages.
Yes, thank you very much for this question. It's a great question because that's exactly one of the things that we are working on at the moment. Before, it's just the language can be added to the apps, but it's like English, Turkish in Turkey, and of course, and some maybe frequently used ones. But now, thanks to AI, it's like we can put any language on the app because it's immediately and instantly translated. And that's very important for us because there are really cases where the communication stops because of the language barriers. But now AI enables us to make written or spoken way instant translation. So that's what we have also started. We implement it in our apps.
Now, as we wrap the conversation, can you provide examples of airports that are already implementing autonomous processes and how passengers are responding to these changes?
Mm-hmm. Well, we have in Istanbul Airport, actually, in every part of Istanbul Airport, we have screens where we have digital assistants and also a lot of information screens and everything. So what we have observed is really the passengers, because we also make some user experience tests. So we have like people in the field observing what's happening. And what we have seen is that the passengers are really happy that they can find an effective way, for example, to find their ways. So they go to these kiosks, they ask their question. And what we also enable through the QR codes, they can take the information to their mobile phones. So they don't need to, memorize or something how they go to the gate. They can take it to their phones and then because Istanbul Airport is really, really huge. And that makes life sometimes a bit difficult for the passengers. But when they really have a relief when they see that it's possible to find, for example, their gate through their mobile phones and just go ahead. So it's very much increasing and information screens are very important because, again, Istanbul is a huge city with a lot of traffic, we have screens where we show the timetables, the traffic density, and everything. So they can find their way easily. They can look at the taxi prices even. Like, it takes so much time, and most probably this will cost that amount of money. So it's a lot of relaxation in such a stressful environment. So this increase the passenger experience and satisfaction, and that we have seen also in the statistics. Because some of the applications that we have done are also there's a authorization called Skytrax, and they want those apps to exist at the airports. So the airport has got really quite high ranking on those audits as well. So it's always both sides, and the passengers are happy.
I mean, appreciate it. Thank you so much for speaking to us.